It's time for an Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast, and this is a best of podcast about Masonry and the Masonic Lodge. And the worshipful master for the state of Iowa is my friend Wade Sheeler. He's a busy man. He just retired from Grinnell Mutual, and he was planning ahead when he knew about retirement because he's a guy that likes to keep busy because he's not only the worshipful master for the state of Iowa, but he's president of Newton Rotary too. So he does not let any grass grow underneath him, that's for sure. So he's all over the state of Iowa serving as worshipful master, and he's busy as president of Newton Rotary. And in this podcast that I had with Wade, he explains Masonry, and a lot of people, I hate to say this, suspicious of Masonry because they feel like a lot of it is a deep, dark secret. Well, Wade is very open and honest about everything with Masonry in this conversation, and I think you'll find it very enlightening. It's about a 20-minute conversation, and in the video that we do, that you'll find the link to on outandaboutwithjamiegrout.com and also on our Facebook pages, you'll see what the Masonic Lodge actually looks like. I'm a proud Mason, and I've been a Mason for a number of years, since the early 1980s, and an offshoot of Masonry is Scottish Rite, and I went Scottish Rite back when I lived in the Waterloo Cedar Falls area for a number of years. My father was a Mason. I have a grandfather that was a Mason too. My father's uncle was a Mason, so it kind of runs in the family also. And it isn't really a deep, dark secret. It's a great organization. And there is a female side of Masonry too called Eastern Star. And my mother was a Grand Worthy Mason. Grand Worthy Matron of Eastern Star also back many years ago when she was a young lady. So again, it runs in the family, and it does that for a number of people too. And there's a lot of people in Newton and Jasper County and all over the state, all over the country, and all over the world who are Masons. There's a lot of United States presidents who are Masons also that you'll find out. So please enjoy this podcast about Masons and Masonry, and also the video tour of the Masonic Lodge in Newton that you'll find on the outandaboutwithjamiegrout.com website. All right, let's hear from our sponsors. We love our sponsors that are supporting Out and About with Jamie Grout and our podcast. And first in line here today is Ryan's Tire and Auto, who, when I got started with the podcast, called me and wanted to support the podcast. And Ryan talked about it in one of his own videos, and that is that he wanted to start a scholarship, and by golly, he has it going. He says on his Facebook page, "We are proud to officially announce the Road Ahead Scholarship for graduating high school seniors in Jasper County. This scholarship is designed to support students who are pursuing a career in the automotive trades, whether that's automotive technology, diesel mechanics, collision repair, or related technical fields." He says if you're a Jasper County senior planning to build your future in the automotive industry, this opportunity is for you. You can invest in your skills, build a strong foundation, and drive your career forward. They say, please take a moment to read through the scholarship information and share this post with a Jasper County senior who's pursuing a career in automotive trades. Applications are now open, and don't miss out. And you can find the link to it on his Facebook page, the Ryan's Tire and Auto Facebook page. And yeah, he's all excited about this. So this is developing young minds who want to get into auto mechanics from Ryan's Tire and Auto on First Avenue in Newton. So find that on his Facebook page. Another fine sponsor, they've signed up for a year, and they're totally supportive of this podcast. So we appreciate Newton Clinic. And they're asking on their Facebook page, when was the last annual checkup that you've had? An annual physical is one of the easiest ways to stay ahead of your health. It's a chance to check in, review screenings, and talk through any concerns before they become big issues. Even if you're feeling great, routine checkups matter. Schedule your annual physical at the Newton Clinic today. Give them a call at the Newton Clinic at 641-792-2112, 641-792-2112. I'll be seeing my doctor, Dr. Joe Levette, next month. I'm looking forward to seeing him, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I have a good A1C reading. when I go see him. He's going to do a full panel on me, and I go see him, and he's a great doc, and you'll find a great doc too at Newton Clinic. And by the way, February is American Heart Month. Your heart works hard for you every day, so show it some love with small, healthy habits like staying active and eating balanced meals and keeping up on regular checkups at Newton Clinic. Another fine sponsor is Wesley Life Park Center. Want to thank Lisa Zylstra and the gang there at Wesley Life Park Center for supporting this podcast. They've done a great job taking care of my sister before she passed in early November, and I couldn't support them any more because I was glad that I had my sister in Park Center in the last 5 years of her life, and I'll tell you, they were top of the line, that's for sure. And you can pursue your joy at Park Center by offering living options across the continuum. Park Center provides vital, enriching environments for everyone. It's a community of healthy living focused on holistic health and well-being. Their programming enhances emotional, intellectual, and spiritual wellness and enables you to have a life that's healthier in every way. Park Center is at home in Newton, with many residents and team members having lived in their lives. To learn more about Park Center's different levels of living and to find the lifestyle that's right for you, contact Lisa Zylstra at 641-791-5000. That's 641-791-5000 at the Wesley Life Park Center on 1st Street in Newton. Another fine sponsor that we have on this podcast is Advantage Credit Union.
Not all checking accounts are Olympic ready. Advantage Credit Union's Cha-Ching Rewards Checking is the gold standard that pays you 3% APY on balances up to $10,000. Simply do the things you're already doing at that other place and get paid up to $25 per month for it at ACU. Earn more on your everyday balance, plus no minimum balance or monthly service fees. Local money, local decisions, local service, and locally owned by you. Advantage Credit Union, where our members win every time.
APY's annual percentage yield restrictions apply. See Credit Union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA.
This podcast is about Masonry, and I've been a proud Mason since 1981. I did what they call proving up in Beatrice, Nebraska back then. The owner of the radio station I worked for there was a Mason, and he sponsored me there. And my dad and another gentleman from Newton, Pete Wright, drove all the way out to Beatrice, Nebraska to watch me prove up, and it's one of the most proud days in my life. And the reason I'm pretty proud of that is it's not only a great organization that supports a lot of people, but it goes back a long ways. And there are people who have relatives. My grandfather on my mom's side was a Mason. My uncle on my dad's side was a Mason. And there are people who don't have any relatives at all that just went into the lodge. And it's very interesting. And so I want to talk to Wade Sheeler, who is secretary of the Newton Lodge, and he's chairman of the Committee on Division and Reference for the Masonic Lodge. And let me tell you something about Wade before we get started. This guy is a go big or go home kind of guy, because he's going to be higher up in the Masonic Lodge next year, and he's going to be president of Newton Rotary. So you want to take some more things on, Wade? I think you have a few things on your plate already.
I think I have enough on my plate right now.
Okay. Let's dispel some myths about Masonry, first of all. That it is like some kind of occult group. It's very secretive. It's just terrible. You know, there are people who say things like that, and I got to say, from my perspective, and I admit I'm prejudiced, it's totally not true.
Let me be very clear. Freemasonry is not a cult. It is a men's fraternal organization. It has existed for literally hundreds of years. We are very open about our beliefs. And you'll notice here on the outside of the lodge building is a Masonic symbol, the square and compass. We're very open as to where we meet. We do things in the community, and so the theory that Freemasonry is a cult is absolutely untrue.
Yeah. Do you think that's because there are a few secrets within Masonry? A very few?
Probably. I think possibly it could go back to what's called the Morgan Affair, which was back in the 1830s. And that was kind of over secrets in Freemasonry. Freemasonry is no different than any other organization. The Knights of Columbus, I'm sure that they have some things that they hold to their members that maybe they wouldn't disclose to the open public. The Elks, the Moose, those are all, I mean, they're all the same.
Odd Fellows.
Odd Fellows, yes.
Mm-hmm. You bet. Well, the G, can you talk about what that stands for in the symbol of Masonry?
Yeah, the G, which is kind of unique to North America, to the United States. If you're over in Europe, the square and compass, you'll not see a G in the square and compass over there. But in this country, the G means two things. It means the sacred art of geometry, and it also makes a reference to God.
Okay. And there are different levels of Masonry, is there not?
There is, in what we call the Blue Lodge, which is your local lodges, there's 3 degrees: Entered Apprentice, Fellowcraft, Master Mason. Then once you complete those, you can either join the York Rite, you can join the Scottish Rite, which has actually a lot of people have heard of the 33rd degree Scottish Rite Mason. And then also the Shrine. To be a Shriner, everybody's familiar with the Shriners Children's Hospitals. And to be a Shriner, you have to be a Freemason.
And I see commercials for the Shriners Hospital all the time. They've helped a number of kids, and sometimes it's a big secret to people about the Shriners Hospital. I'm glad they're getting some publicity out.
Well, yes, that's a new marketing campaign for the Shrine Children's Hospitals. There are 15 hospitals throughout the United States. There's also one in Toronto, and there's one in Mexico City. And they treat children with orthopedic issues, burns, and also spinal issues.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend of mine that recently visited the Shriners Hospital in Mexico City. And that hospital down there is the largest one, and they have 80,000 patients that they treat every year.
Amazing, just amazing. Now, I was told by the guy that taught me, the Entered Apprentice, Fellowcraft, and Master Mason stuff, that once you become a Master Mason in Masonry, that's as high as you can go, and everything else is kind of an offshoot.
That's true. If you go to York Rite, if you go to Scottish Rite, those 2 appendant bodies, they actually basically shed additional light on your 3 degrees of the symbolic lodge or Blue Lodge. Now,
Scottish Rite, and I'm Scottish Rite. I went in several years ago. I think I told you about it. My ex-uncle-in-law was the Grand Master of the state, and I went in Cedar Rapids. And I know that they do good works. And York Rite, I'm assuming, also does. Can you talk about that, Wade?
Well, the York Rite is made up of 3 different bodies: the Royal Archmasons, Royal and Select Masons, and then Knights Templar. So each of them have a philanthropy. The Royal Arch, they help children with hearing issues. The Royal and Select Masters, they do a lot of research in the areas of various types of vascular diseases. And then the Knights Templar, their big philanthropy is really 2 things. One is to send pastors on Holy Land pilgrimages over to Israel, which I've been on one of those. And then also they have the Knights Templar Eye Foundation, which does a tremendous amount of research into various types of eye diseases. The Scottish Rite, they do scholarships for individuals that are going into educational administration types of graduate programs. And then they also do a lot with speech pathology. In fact, here in Iowa, the Scottish Rite Masons in Iowa, we support and help out the speech pathology clinic down at the University of Iowa.
Well, that is fantastic. What do you like best about being a Mason and being involved in all these offshoot organizations?
I think the thing I like the best is the opportunity to get to meet people. I've met people all over the country. I've met people, obviously, all over the state. I've met people internationally that are Freemasons. So, it's just the opportunity to meet so many people around the world.
And one thing I want to mention, too, there's an offshoot of Masonry that is for women also that we need to talk about.
That's right. There's actually a couple well, there's actually three groups. The biggest and most well-known one is the Order of the Eastern Star, and that is actually for men and women, and they do a lot of good things too. One of the things that they do is they help individuals that are going into pastoral training with scholarship money. They also do a lot of things in their communities. One of the things that the Eastern Star chapter here in Newton did last year was we actually went down and we did a feed at the Newton Fire Department. And then we've also, just here recently, we've done, we baked cookies and we distributed those to different fire departments in the county. The Eastern Star Grand chapter here in Iowa, they have a program to provide quilts of honor or quilts of valor to veterans. So we've presented several of those here in Newton. So it's a really great organization as well.
And the Masonic Lodge in Newton does a pancake breakfast about every month, don't they?
We do a pancake breakfast every month. Our next one is this coming Saturday, November 9th. It's always on the second Saturday of the month, with the exception of July, which we do on the 4th of July. And we use that for some of our community activities.
And let's talk about those community activities, Wade.
Okay. One thing that's coming up here within the next week is we're going to do a Veterans Appreciation Dinner on November 11th, 6 o'clock in the evening. It's open for anybody that's a veteran. You come up and have a spaghetti dinner on us. We've been recently been doing the Books to Bikes program for the Newton Community Elementary Schools. This past spring, we give out 24 bikes, and it's a reading program for kids. Every book that they read, they put in a slip of paper that said that they read this book, and then each school draws for bicycles. So that's been a real successful thing for us. We try to help out the fire department, police department with some donations throughout the year. We always sponsor a luncheon in December for Shop with a Cop. So we just try to help out wherever we can in the community. We've also, this year, we've helped out Open Arms Foundation. We raised $4,000 for them.
How does one become a Mason?
Well, to become a Mason, first of all, you fill out a petition, and then you turn it into the lodge, and the lodge then will assign 3 guys to go and visit with them, with the individual, talk a little bit about any questions that they might have and that type of thing. And then the lodge will vote on it. It has to be a unanimous ballot. And then once they're approved through a vote of the lodge, then the individual can start the degree process. There are 2 things to be a Freemason. One is that you have a belief in a supreme being, and the other is that you don't have any type of felony convictions.
All right. The Masonic Lodge is very ritualistic, and a lot of this ritual is based on the Old Testament, is it not?
That's true. Teaching by allegory and by symbolism is one of the oldest teaching methods that exist. I mean, Socrates taught by the Socratic method, and so that is a lot of what Freemasonry, how we convey our lessons, is through the degree work and its illustrations of various types of symbols.
Yeah, a lot of memory going on with this. I had a guy who was my mentor in the Masonic Lodge that I became very good friends with. It took me 6 months to get in to, be entered apprentice to becoming a master Mason. But these days, it doesn't take quite so long to get into the Masonic Lodge, does it, Wade?
No, you could petition 1 month, you could be voted on the next month, and then start your degree work. And we do, in Iowa, we have what is called a 1-day class. And that is, you still have to be approved by the local lodge, but you can go and receive all 3 degrees in 1 day.
All right. So on a statewide level, now, does the state lodge contribute to different organizations, or is it more done locally?
Well, the Grand Lodge of Iowa, the big thing that they do is a scholarship program. Each year, we give out $5,000 scholarships for graduating seniors, and then we also give out 10 $2,500 scholarships. And then there's also a program that gives out scholarships for kids that are going to be going to a trade or technical school.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have the Grand Charity Fund, which helps out individuals as well as different community organizations. We have 2 or 3 towns I know of that have a Clothe the Child program, which basically the Grand Charity Fund assists with that, and they help make donations to help lower income kids with clothing needs, particularly in the wintertime.
Well, that is fantastic. And I guess I want to invite folks to find out about the Masonic Lodge, about York Rite, about Scottish Rite. And the Newton Lodge, I'm looking around the kitchen area here. It's been around for a long time.
It has. Actually, Newton Lodge 59 is actually technically older than the city of Newton. The lodge was chartered in 1855, and the city of Newton did not become a incorporated city until 1857. The Masonic Lodge here in Newton is, there are only 2 other organizations in town that are older than we are. One of them is the United Methodist Church, which was founded in 1848. And then the Baptist Church was founded, I believe, just a few months earlier than the Masonic Lodge. One interesting thing to note is the first post office in Newton was in a log cabin.
Oh.
And it was directly down below the lodge, roughly where the Christian bookstore is now. So,
I did not know that.
So we go back a long ways.
Sure do. There have been a number of famous people and politicians who have been Masons over the years, Wade. Maybe you can talk about that.
Yes. Probably our most famous Mason that belonged to Newton Lodge 59 was F.L. Maytag. He was almost a 50-year member when he passed away. Along with Mr. Maytag, Thomas Edison was a Mason. Henry Ford was a Mason. We've had 13 of the presidents that have been Masons.
Which is including George Washington,
including
right?
George Washington. We've had the founder of Arby's was a Freemason. Senator Grassley here in Iowa is a Freemason. So Freemasonry has attracted a lot of people from a variety of different walks of life over the years.
So again, if people listening want to become Masons or go Eastern Star, by the way, I was going to say real quick, my mom was worthy Grand Matron of Eastern Star over in Missouri Valley, Iowa, way over in Western Iowa back in the day, and she was proud of that too. But if people want to find out more about these organizations, how can they do that, Wade?
Well, the easiest, there is a website out there. It's called beafreemason.org. It's a national website, and you can go out there. There's a lot of information about Freemasonry out there. If you are actually interested, you can fill out an online form. It goes to the Grand Lodge of Iowa, and then it's actually then sent on to whichever lodge the individual lives in, or whatever lodge in the community where the individual lives.
All right, fantastic. Well, I admittedly am not real active in the lodge here. I should be because, as you get older, you start losing some brain cells. I probably lost a lot of brain cells over the years anyway, but you get older, and that memory work that you do is probably real beneficial, isn't it?
It is.
You have to do a bunch of that, and that's actually kind of a good thing. It's a fun thing. It's a learning thing. So get a hold of the Masonic Lodge, wherever you might be listening to me from, and find out about possible membership. Anything else you want to add about Masonry, Wade?
This kind of goes back to the issue of religion in Freemasonry. As I said earlier, you have to have a belief in some type of a higher being. Freemasonry accepts individuals from various religious backgrounds, Christians, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu. And the other thing is that the Holy Bible is always open on the altar of a Masonic Lodge. So I really want to dispel the the belief that we're some type of a religion, because we aren't.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Well, Wade, thanks for talking with us today. Our interview guest has been Wade Sheeler with the Masonic Lodge of Iowa and, of course, Secretary of the Masonic Lodge in Newton on Out and About with Jamie Grout.
Other sponsors include Lynette Baker, Halo Branded Solutions, Westside Java Coffee Bar, and the Maid Ride in downtown Newton. Until next time, Grout is out. See ya!